Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a rec review from our friend Sixophone, who is currently sitting around at 1250, and he's playing as the Vietnamese up against the Khitans. So, did he say anything here? He said, this is my October rec, a messier game than the last one. I think I lost it in Feudal Age when I turtled it up instead of contesting the map, but I also suspect I made some suboptimal choices from there on. I also deleted my first treb trying to clear some palisades, and it haunts my dreams. Okay, so some things went wrong. Sorry about that. Some things went wrong in this game. Let's go ahead and take a look and see exactly what did go wrong. So, starting off, he's going to be doing the chicken Patreon build. These are Patreon rec reviews, of course, so they have access to the exclusive guides and content that I have there. Specifically important because they have a good base to work from. So that's why I like doing reviews for these guys. I can also point them to the right resources if they need to improve certain aspects. So this is good. Just going for the chickens first. It's a very good build to make sure you can get the chickens before Feudal Age. And then it also preserves some of your sheep so that when you do get the Feudal Age, you have sheep and berries fully intact. You don't need to be way out here taking chickens, which are very exposed. Pretty good early game. Actually loving this early game so far. Interesting wood choice. They went on this side. Not bad. Close to the berries makes a lot of sense. Can probably easily wall here. And playing against the Khitans. It's funny that you said that you didn't want to, or you thought like you turtling was a problem, because usually turtling against the Khitans is a very good thing to do. So I'm not really seeing too many issues with the Dark Age, but maybe here the first issue, I guess. Going to double lumber camp is interesting. Not an issue though. It's actually completely fine walling up a little bit. So you are playing a bit more of a turtle style. But here is probably the first mistake. So the reason why I considered the double lumber camp potentially an issue is that might make our starting game a little bit weaker. Like if you go double lumber camp without luring deer, you're gonna have very little food income. So if you're gonna go like scouts or something, you're not gonna be able to afford much. And if you go archers, it's not so bad, but then you're gonna be playing defensively, which is fine, but you know could lead to some issues. So this is my first actual mistake here, is you making the barracks here. So I actually don't like these two houses either. When you have a gold like this, especially one that's on the bottom of a hill, you need to protect this with your building. So much better would be if you just go ahead and wall something like this. So we're going to go ahead and show you real quick if I can. I have a... hold on. I think this should be good. All right. So you want to wall something like this. Okay. So what you did is you walled like this, but this is bad because the gold here is very exposed. If your opponent has range units right here on this hill, which is not part of your wall, even if you wall like this, for example, he's still going to range all your gold, as you can see. So if you wall like this, two houses here, house here, and then barracks here, all right, then you palisade wall across. Your gold is not protected. He can't get here. He has to be dots out here, and those guys can't range the gold in Feudal Age. So that's what you want to do, and that's how you want to make your walls later on. So we have to clear this up now. I'm new to this app, but I think it's gonna be really good. There we go. So that's how I want to see you walling from now on, not walling towards your gold. That's something that I see a lot of people making mistakes of, and it's like we're gonna see the messiness that this leads to later on for sure. And even if your opponent doesn't have archers out here hitting your gold, you're still not able to take so much of your gold. I mean, look at this. Now you have only 3 tiles of gold where you can take. That range is absolutely horrible for that, right? Like walling out here, range to the front, that's way better for your setup. Like this really will matter, especially if you're talking about you turtling a lot. This is giving you very little space, so your turtle will feel a lot more uncomfortable. Alright, so I'm going to wall up, which is good. Looking at idle time, you're also looking pretty good there. Economy upgrades, you picked up double bit axe, which is nice. So I'm pretty happy with how things are going for you so far. Skipped out on horse collar. Probably with Vietnamese, I would get it, especially with such a defensive opening like this. But it's not the end of the world to skip it. And you actually went for the back gold, so fair enough. Not going to go ahead and defend your main gold. So that makes your play here a lot better. But I think the point still stands. Making production buildings near your gold will make this gold very hard to take later on. So there's still like very little reason not to wall here. You also want to wall on your hills to make sure your opponent can't push you from the hill. Now if he attacks your range, he's attacking downhill, which is also a problem. So yeah, a lot of things to consider there with just the placement of buildings. So here we're playing defensive and feudal. I don't see any problem with this. That's why I'm fast forwarding. Your opponent is just going scouts, maybe into some skirms. We don't care about that. Playing defensive against Khitans is actually good because their feudal age play is really strong. Their units have a lot of attack once they pick up foraging and stuff like that. So playing defensive is fine. We picked up horse collar as well. Now we go for the second range. All of this is fine. I'm actually quite impressed by this gameplay so far. Nothing crazy happened, but I like that we just played like a clean game. Although we did have some idle time near the end compared to him. So he's playing a cleaner game. Our opponent is playing a cleaner game, but that's okay. I'm going to go 2 range archers. And we're going to make a stable, probably to counter some skirms, which we don't know are there, but I guess we're just assuming that they will be there. Just kind of fast forwarding, because again, there's not really much to talk about. We're just playing defensive, which is fine. Like, you said you had issues, or like you ran into problems because you played turtling early on. You turtling in feudal age had 0 impact in the game. Completely fine. In fact, your opponent kind of did something similar. You're going to go ballistics first. Okay, so if you're going to go ballistics first, pick up some eco upgrades. You have to play very aggressive here, because you're going to go ballistics first. You have a stable. You need to play aggressive. This is the next mistake here, all right? So you adding a town center at the same time as you going university, when you have 2 ranges and a stable, you cannot afford all of this. It's too soon to be doing this many things. So you have to make a decision. If you're going to add a university, just delay the TC till after ballistics. That's my advice, especially after a short feudal age like this, all right? So you're doing all at once. You're not going to be able to produce crossbows. You're not going to be able to produce knights. Something, all right, is going to give way for sure. I'm going to go ahead and make a scout cavalry. Not sure why you want a scout. Now, a siege workshop as well now? So what's the point of making the stable? You understand what I'm saying? We're doing so many different things. Why not just make a couple knights with +1 armor, right? That would be way better. The +1 armor knights can kill the skirms a little bit. It can buffer. Crossbows in the back can kill everything else. And now we're going to have, university made. No ballistics on the way. Scorpion coming out now. Siege workshop coming in. Town center. The stable was useless. We had a scout, which is also useless. So we're wasting res on the stable. We're wasting res on the university. We're now essentially down around 500 to 800 resources on just things that we didn't necessarily need. Just to put it in perspective, right? Between the stable, the scout, the university, maybe like 800 is a lot, but like 500 res easily. All right. And here's the thing: the university without ballistics is useless, but we want ballistics here. That's the part that gets me. Like, we want to have ballistics. So the point is, like why did you go for so many different options and not end up like landing on one? So much better, like, screw the siege workshop. If you're gonna go to the stable, don't need it. If you don't want the stable, then skip the stable, go for the siege workshop. You have to pick one or the other. If you want university, don't go for the TC right away. All right, with ballistics, all of these guys die. But what's gonna happen is he's gonna be able to run away. Maybe even picks up a bill before he leaves. Not ambitious enough. And now we still, like, we made all this, we still don't really have an answer to the skirms. They're still walking us down. So your siege workshop is, oh, now another town center, eh? We still don't have an answer to the skirms. We're taking back. Why are we making scouts, by the way? What even is this? You have to go knights. Knights with +1 armor, bro. That's basic, by the way. Oh, this is huge. This is huge. I can't believe you mentioned turtling in feudal age, and you left at the part where you got steamrolled in castle age. And this is the part where we take so much damage. So, and by the way, I do want to highlight something real quick. I'll pause for it. Your opponent's on 2 TC, not the craziest economy. He's flowing a lot of resources. He's clearly investing a lot into this. So all we have to do is just invest a little bit into defense, push him back, and then we can boom normally. But it doesn't make sense that we try a stable siege workshop and we still don't have an answer to skirms. Like, so, okay, to beat 6 phone, guys, if you see him on the ladder, just go skirms with +1 armor. 10 skirms, that's it. That's all we need. And the point I'm talking about this is that every game your opponent is going to get the skirms. We need to have a better plan for this, you know what I mean? We can't just be folding to 10 skirms with our... And now castle... Bro, you're folding to 10 skirms. How many games on your account? You're 1200. How many games on your account did you lose just because your opponent made 10 skirms? It's a very popular unit. We need to have a better game plan. Knights with +1 armor. Now you have it. 2-3 knights. That's all you need. With the crossbow mass, would clear this up. Simple as that. 2-3 knights. Alright? And if you go for a siege workshop, Mangonel counters skirmishers. The scorpions not so much, because they deal pierce damage compared to the Mangonel that does melee damage. So now the scorpions have done... Sorry, the skirmishers have done so much damage to us. He's killed so many villagers, so much army. And we're only now clearing them up. And now this castle's been forced in a defensive position as well. So, yeah, in my opinion, we really got to change up the game plan against skirmishers. 100%. I think that guy's stuck in there at this point. Poor Scorpion. But, yeah, we definitely need a better game plan against the skirmishers. Actually, yeah, you could have went fire lances as well. I think you might go for that right now. But the idea is, it doesn't matter what you go for. You just need to, like, go for something and then commit to it. You can't make a stable, make one scout, no upgrades, and then say, let's just go to the next thing. That's not really how the game works. Despite all this, you're keeping neck and neck in build count somehow. Tame and rest collected. So I think that just shows how good your economy management is and your macro is. Aha. I'm so satisfied. I'm so satisfied because this is exactly what I'm talking about earlier. Because you didn't set up your play correctly early on. Now, 20 minutes later, after the gold at the back went bye-bye, we spent it on hookers and cocaine. Because to be honest, I don't see any gold units on the field besides a few. So who knows what we spent the gold on? I don't see any value coming from that. But now our gold at the front is so hard to take. We have to castle the hill instead of just building on it. We have to do 2 mining camps, one of which is 2 tiles away. These little things matter because they make your gameplay cleaner. All right, it's very important actually. All of them just making buildings better placed in early game. That all helps. All right, so now we're gonna go for the fire lancer. So now what I want to see from you, Sixophone, is you're doing a good job with the economy. Let's just get to a comp that can win. All right, that's what I want to see. I want to see a comp that makes sense and that can win the game. All right, 2 castles. So you can go Rattan Archer, you can go Fire Lancer. You can probably go something like you know, mix of both. You can go Fire Lancer Skirm. Let's just get to a comp that can win the game. All right, and then we have to fully upgrade that composition, basically. So we're gonna go out with these guys. I'm not sure. Do Vietnamese get Gambesons? I think we do. You don't have it. Okay. And also because our castles are in such bad positions. Well, this one's pretty bad, but this one is okay. But we missed out the middle hill right here. Like a castle, like this hill is begging for a castle. Your opponent also goes for a pretty bad castle. He should have went on the hill. But now we're gonna be fast up to imp. So now let's just pick a comp. All right, let's just pick our comp. And you're going for outposts on the side, which is really good. That's a high level move. I like that a lot. The opponent's going for some layout dows. It's a very scary unit, actually. So maybe we need Rattan Archers, which we're going for. I want to see you get to a composition here. We have faster imp. Our stone is out here, so we clearly have to fight for this hill. Clearly, I have 2 minerals here. That's obvious. And you're going to go Bloodlines. So Rattan Archer light cap, right? We have some trebs. Deleted a treb. We have to move the gate. Actually, you know, your fault is here. Your fault is not having the trebs here, like the gate, the deleting the treb. The fault is you didn't go on the hill to treb him from the hill, right? Like you're trebbing him downhill for no reason. This castle's gonna be 10 times harder to kill like that. Just go on the hill with 4 trebs. Boom, treb him down. Easy. Rattan Archer, excellent choice. Siege Engineers, good. Light cap, good. Murder Holes, interesting. Not good, not bad, but not really needed right now. Someone goes mount the trebuchet. Again, the guy goes skirms. We lose. We lose. Just resign. Honestly, next time your opponent makes a skirmish, just resign. Because honestly, we have no plan ever for skirmishers. My goodness. Well, what happened to our guys? All right, so I did crash, but we're back. And I just want to show the skirms coming in. Apparently, you can't rewind with Capture Age. Lost like 15 minutes of my life just rewinding. But I'm more than happy to do it to ensure that the video goes through. So I want to see what happened here. So the skirms come out. And the Rattan Archers get kind of destroyed by the skirms, but also the mounted treb's kind of doing work. It looks like it's mostly the skirms. So again, taking so much damage from the skirmishers. But the reality it is, we shouldn't be taking any damage from skirms because we know the skirms are coming. If we're going to go Rattan Archer, which completely counters the Liao Dao, your opponent has already been on skirms. They're obviously going to go skirms, so you need to be ready for it. But the reason why we can't get some counter units on the field to deal with the skirms is that we're stuck doing so many different things. Like we have 3 ranges here, which by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Sixophone, you deleted your range here to make a 3rd mining camp. So this gold cost us so much just because we didn't build our base properly. I just have to mention again, I'm not a hater. I know I can come off as one in the rec reviews, but I need to put this idea that these things are really bad. All right, as a coach and as a guy who reviews recs and whatnot, what I don't like and what I don't want to have happen is that I mention a few things and then people are like, oh, Hera, that's not a big deal. I'm not going to follow it because it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. You have to follow it. Finally, the light cap come out. So the reason why we're struggling with light cap is just because of how low our food count is. And this is because we're not spending our wood in time. What you're doing here, this is fantastic. You need to do more of it. So here, 1,000 wood not being spent. Boom, 10 vills off wood. Mill, 10 farms. The TC is send vills back to the wood. That's how you do it. That's a practical way to fix your economy in late game. All right. Good expansions here. It's not like we have like no space. We have tons of space here near castles. Tons of space here near castles. So you have options. Stop making 3 ranges. Like what are these ranges for? We're not going ranges. So those 3 ranges not needed. Farm instead. Boom. 6 tables can come down. and you can spam the light cav. Now light cav will attack. Now it's not the same. Why? Because we're going light cav after losing 25 Rathan archers. Okay? So now your opponent only has to counter light cav, which don't even have max upgrades, still missing last armor. And that's a very easy thing to do. But even just light cav are pushing all of this back. So even just light cav, the worst of what we can bring to the table, is doing so much your opponent has to go back. Imagine if behind this light cav we had 25 Rathan archers. We'd kill all the vills, we'd clear this, push all the skirms back, kill all the vills here. We'd win the game. We would literally win the game if 25 Rathan archers and 10 light cav connected. Just to show you how easy this is. And on the way up to Imp, you have so much time to pick your composition. Even right now, you have a decent composition. You just have to fight with it. You know what I mean? The Rathan archer, light cav, bomber cannon. Boom, that's your composition. Fully upgrade it, mass it up, fight with it at the same time. You look now, Rathan archers, no light cav in front. It's going to be hard. We're going to lose more Rathan archers. And I'm sure we don't have full upgrades. Oh, we do, actually. We're probably missing Thumbring, and we're probably missing... Oh, we resign. A bit early to resign. I think it's still playable. We got like 2,500 gold in the bank. It's a bit early to resign, honestly. I think it's still playable. But yeah, like... again, like, we have so many options here. I'm surprised we resigned, because we can still play. Like, we don't have fully upgraded Rathan archer. Let's just try to get elite, see how that performs. You know, maybe Thumbring is missing. Let's pick up Thumbring. I don't know if we got it or not. Light cav, we need last armor. Let's just try to get light cav. I feel like you resigned too early because you can still try to make something happen. You still didn't get the fully upgraded comp. So we don't even know if what you did is correct because we didn't see it in its full form, if you know what I mean. But again, more importantly than any of that, I really want to emphasize just a good castle age play. I think that's like your biggest issue, besides like the range being blocked and whatnot. But the biggest problem that I've seen for you is just the castle age play. So again, you go for the stable, you don't use it. You fight the skirmishers head on, which honestly, with good micro, you can probably win. He doesn't even have last armor upgrade. You go Siege Workshop, you make Scorpions. One of them gets trapped, one of them does nothing. You make University, and you don't go to it like me in real life. I paid for University, didn't go. Town Center, like, you make the Town Center, but now because you made the Town Center, you can't afford anything else. It's a huge mess. Prioritize one or two things. Like in late game, Rathan Archer and Light Cav. Nothing else. Get all the upgrades. Here, Crossbow and Knights. All the upgrades. If you can afford +2 armor, do it. You know, if you get +2 armor, the skirmishers do 1 damage to the knight. You have 120 HP with Bloodlines. So if you get 3 knights with 120 HP +2 armor, these skirmishers, you need 120 hits per knight. 360 hits from skirmishers to kill 3 knights. If you send 3 knights with +2 armor against these skirms, you have like 15 minutes before your opponent clears those up. And if you say, well, okay, it's just going to bring step lances in, let him. That's where your crossbows come in. You play crossbow knight. That should beat, or should do well against at least, skirm step lancer. Why not? Your crossbows hit the step lancer, your knights clear the skirms. Boom. Easy. See, I know you know this, which is why I'm making a point to, like, look how easy it could be. Look how hard you made it. And of course, in the game, it's difficult to come up with these things. But you made this table. You're already there. So I believe in you. You made this table. You're already there. I'm sure if you just focus on 1 or 2 things at once, instead of trying to panic and do a bunch of different things, you'd have better results, and you wouldn't fold to 10 skirms. It's a huge problem, by the way, Sixophone. And I'm not saying this to make fun of you or anything like that. But the skirms ending our career, that's a huge issue, because you're going to face skirms almost every game. So you have to be prepared. If you're an Archiciv, you have to be prepared to beat skirmisher opening or skirmisher counters. All right? So Knights, Mangonels, delay ballistics, get a second TC, and get +2 armor on Knights. Forget ballistics. You don't need ballistics for this, for example, if you want to. All right? So that's the point. Hopefully this helps. I think that's the biggest weakness of your game from what I've seen here. And I'm sure you're losing a lot of games because you're falling behind from this moment onwards and giving yourself a hard time to come back, which in my opinion, you did a great job of. Like the fact that this is still even vills, even rest collected, and if anything, you're a bit ahead. Miracle. That's amazing. Fantastic. So that shows just how good you are in certain aspects and where you need to work on. So hopefully this helps. Thanks so much for watching. If you guys did watch this on YouTube, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you guys want to see more rec reviews, if you guys like my little pen thingy, let me know. I can do so much. I only used it once this game, but like I can, boom, Sixophone lost. There's so many things. This castle, bad. Oh, I can't move. I have to move here. Oh, I move it. The thing says, this castle, bad. I can do so much with this, all right? So, yeah, let me know if you like the pen. But anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Take care and peace. And last thing, if you guys want to get better, check out my Patreon. All the exclusive guides and content are there. The people there climb ELO so fast. Links to Patreon in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.